And then a couple of weeks later, you'll be over in Portugal with the Oceano Masters. Marvellous.
That is one bonus that nobody knew about. And obviously Jimmy's done a lot of work over in Portugal with Jeff Russell organising this, and I can nothing but admiration for them, because I love Portugal. Portugal's a place I hopefully one day might spend a bit of time over there, because I love my golf. I love Portugal as a country.
Yeah.
And I probably would have gone to this even if I hadn't have been invited.
Yeah.
Because Portugal is a beautiful place, and like I say, anybody that is thinking of going, please go, because it is a wonderful country. They're very hospitable. And
I just have to tell you, Dave, there's just a message just come up on the screen. I think Dave Jackson is one of the nicest men in bowls.
Oh, God, who's that
How's
from?
that? Mandy Paget.
Oh, Mandy, thanks very much, Mandy. Looking forward to your comp again next year. Definite first one for me.
And I have to say, she is right. You are one of the nicest men in bowls.
Mandy's just creeping for a good draw, that's all he's after.
Oh, right.
I'm just going back to Portugal, Dave. I mean, as you know, Mel and I were over there for the first event back in March, and as you probably heard, it's a fabulous venue and green. You know, it really is an excellent setup.
Yeah.
You know, and with obviously the cash injection that's going on, and the commitment obviously to get Crown Green bowls over in that part of the world, it's a fantastic opportunity to revolutionise our game, really, which has been desperately needed, hasn't it, for some years now?
Oh, very much so. Ever since the Bassmasters went anything, and Mr. Burgess, who is a very good friend of my brother's from years gone by, when we used to play bowls, he needs nothing but support, really, because we've got to support these competitions.
That's right.
And the Waterloo and anybody else. You know, we need to support the game. It needs all the help we can get.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, particularly if you've got, you know, a sponsor such as Simon, you know, willing to put, you know, not just a few quid into the game, you know, in substantial amounts of money. You know, sponsors. We've always said before, we've got to look after sponsors, haven't we? Because otherwise they'll walk away, sadly, and we've seen that happen.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, if you speak to Mel nicely, but you can speak to me nicely as well, Dave. You may get an invite into the Les Evans Memorial at Chadsmore next year.
Well, that'll be a first. I think
it will.
I was invited once at the last minute, but it would be nice to get an invite this time.
That's right. Yeah. It's and of course you were in Portugal then, if I remember right, weren't you?
Yes, I was. Yes. Golfing again.
Yes.
It's my other love.
Well.
Other than football, which used to be my main sport.
That's right, yeah.
You might have a chance at Chadsmore anyway, Dave, because there's no women in that competition.
Nice one, Mel, yes. Another defeat by Mrs. Lynn Pritchard. But if I remember rightly, I think we put that right when you came back to Lloyd's for a bit of the hammering. I think, didn't you say, Mel, it was more like a cricket score?
Yeah, it was, that's right,
Yeah, it was, I was doing great at 2-1, and then I carried the mat for Billy Ibbott for 20 minutes, which was lovely. But
an awesome player on the Lloyd, so I think you've got the top lot there.
An awesome green, I'll tell you. I'd love to go back on there again. And
get two.
I did.
Yeah.
I didn't really have too long on there, really, but never mind. Moving swiftly on, changing the subject. Tonight we're discussing next week's last group games, Dave, in the Ensley Inter-County Championships, and I see you're taking part, obviously, in the Crunch Group 4 match, really, between Cheshire and Wales.
Yeah, we're playing at Budenbergs, which is a green. Most people know Budenbergs were a team that won the Premier League quite a few times when it first started.
Yeah,
it's a very, very tricky green in very good condition at the moment. I believe it's very, very quick. But Cheshire have such a good team that know that green so well. I'm sure it'll be a good game, and I'm sure they'll do very well on their home leg in Wales. But the green we're using in Budenberg will certainly match the one that Cheshire away side will be playing in Wales. It's a carpet green, which I've never played on.
That's
I don't know too much about, but I know the green that we're playing on is a very tricky, hard green.
Yeah, I mean, looking at
be a close match.
Yeah, looking at the team here, I mean, at Budenbergs, I mean, just to name a few: Noel Burrows, Steve Ridley, Billy Ibbott, Mike Geraghty, Glyn Cookson, Chris McDonald, Andy Proctor, yourself. You know, you've got to sort of fancy your chances, really, haven't you?
We have, really. It's come back to the Altrincham area. I know the Mid Cheshire lads did a fantastic fantastic job. I went to watch them actually at Hollywood, which I don't think I've ever played before. It is a fantastic venue, Hollywood, and fully understand playing all the young lads from that area who are so keen. Very much like lots of counties at the moment, giving all these young lads a chance to play in the county setup is only good, and a lot of good can only come out of it, and I'm sure they'll go back there.
Yeah.
Because Hollywood is a very good home green.
Yeah.
But I think if they're going to... This was a good idea. I think the team manager, Stuart Barton, who now runs the team, decided that he was going to do this, and it looks like it got passed. And I can only say that, yeah, Budenberg is a great home venue for us, and the fact that I thought they might have saved it for a later game, but obviously they want to win this one more than anything.
Yeah.
It's no good leaving the green till we're out. But,
no, exactly.
So, yeah, it's a great selection. It's really
Yeah.
on the Cheshire side.
And as you said, you know, they've chosen Budenberg and packed it with sort of players who've got obviously the Premier League experience on the green, so it's a green where you can get a result.
There's one or two people that used to play it that's from the Budenberg's team, and I'm sure they'll still know it very well. But all the Lloyd's players that are playing there know it well, and they always do very, very well there. So, yeah, I think Wales, Mr. Bailey again is going to have a hard task to try and turn us over on that.
Yeah, well, I'm just looking at the draw here. I mean, there's some obviously good ties, you know, and starting, you know, with the first game on, sort of Noel and John Bailey. You know, that should be a good game, shouldn't it, Dave?
Yeah. John is an excellent player, and John likes quick greens. He likes heavy greens. He's just an all-round player. But he's going to come up against a gentleman called the Legend, who is very good on any green, quick, small, anything, and he knows that green so well.
Yeah.
Wherever Noel plays, whoever plays it, you are going to have one hell of a game.
That's right, yeah. And as we've just touched on, you know, Wales, possibly as expected, are taking you to the artificial green at Betsy and Ross, and they've had some obviously excellent wins on the carpet, and that's what it is, isn't it, in the past. And there's been quite a lot of debate, you know, about the use of artificial greens. I mean, what are your views, Dave?
My views on artificial greens? I don't really know that. I've never ever played on one. I'm sure there's lots of people that play on them, and they can doctor them, they can get them quick, they can get them medium or heavy. I mean, Andy Cairns did a good report on these greens, if anybody ever saw it on the 21 Up website, and it's very interesting listening to it, but how they can change the speeds of the green. I would love to have played on it. I'm sure if you have half an hour's practice on something, you know the pace of the green, I'm sure they'll be able to pick it up, and it can only be just as hard for the home side, because I don't think they play it every week. I'm sure they practice it, but I'm a great believer in not having any practice for the away side nor the home side. But you know, if you can't pick a green up in half an hour, if you're a good player, I think it's an advantage to have that away. And sometimes I prefer to play away rather than home, because at least away, you can pick up a green in half an hour.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But I suspect you're probably happy to be at home and be on grass, Dave.
Yeah, I'm happy to be at Budenberg's. I live round only a mile away from where Budenberg's green is, so I've been playing it for 30 years plus, and I do know it very, very well, and a lot of the other players know it well, as I'm sure Wales will find out.
Yeah, and of course the winners of the Cheshire and Wales tie look like facing Yorkshire in the semi-final on the 2nd of August, and with holders Greater Manchester out, I suspect many sort of will be making Yorkshire favourites this year.
Yeah, they probably will make Yorkshire favourites. I don't know what will happen if we do happen to beat Wales and we do play Yorkshire, where we will go. Maybe we go to Hollywood again, I don't know. But I'm sure the committee that picked the Cheshire side will do the right thing, because I think they've got back on the winning trail again.
Yeah.
And after Mr. Parker led us to glory a few years back, we need to get back winning again, Cheshire, because I always think Cheshire have got the best players. It's just whether we can get the right greens and play well on the right day, because over the last few years we've got to a position where we could win it again, and we've the weather's gone against us, or we didn't play well on the day. But I do feel as though Cheshire have the best players, and they should win it most years. I don't think a lot of people listening will probably agree with that, but I think there's like Warwick and Worcester and the area where Padge comes from, they are really improving, and I think it won't be long before they do win it.
That's right, yeah.